Hello and welcome, this is Ruth, and today I've got the Tinsel and Treats box die set, and you can see that it is in shape of a beautiful Christmas tree. This has got 56 dies, and the approximate finished size of the tree is 140mm by 200mm by 140mm, which is 5.5 inches by 7.9 inches by 5.5 inches. Just to clear up any confusion before I go any further, I've noticed a few people on Facebook asking about the smaller version of the tree. These are actually just reduced size images here to show you what that looks like with the lid off, but they're actually the same trees that are in the bigger picture here. Anyhow, you'll see on the back all of the dies that you should have in your set, and then when you open it up, first of all you'll see that there's a big cutting list, and that'll tell you everything that you need to cut out. Everything is listed there. Now, I'm making this video, and if you want to see any more like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. And you'll see loads more. There's plenty more always coming, and I really appreciate it if you would follow along. And you know what? If you're enjoying it, why don't you just give it a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment as well. My affiliate links to everything I use will be down below in the description of the video. That gives me a little commission, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. So now that we've got all of that out of the way, I'm going to have a quick look at the die set, but there are all written instructions in the inside of the packaging as well that you can have a look at, and hopefully you'll not need those because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know right here. I've got this on my big magnetic sheet, but still on the acetate because I've run out of big magnets at the moment, so hopefully the glare's not too bad, and as soon as I get more magnets in the post, I'll be transferring this right over because that's the way I keep them. But anyhow, I'll not lose them while they're on this as well. So you've got this great big circle, so always handy to have a big circle. You can make circle shaped cards out of that, or you could use that for scrapbooking, all sorts of things. And you've got these beautiful panels, which are actually these parts, so the different layers of the tree as well. But as well as all of those, you've got different shapes here that you can use for other decorations. You've got the tinsel, I suppose that is, or the beading that would go around the tree, a little bow, and some little decorations here and here and here. And then this beautiful part here, that's like a bow or something like that for a gift, because you'll see here that there's actually a die that makes an actual present shape as well. And then we've got a beautiful little train that you can attach around the bottom, and some stars, and a bigger star, and a bigger star again for the top of the tree. Anyhow, I am going to start die cutting. I've chosen some 300 GSM ivory smooth card for this because I wanted it to be very sturdy. I've gone ahead, but I haven't got it all done yet, so I'm going to come back. I've got bits and pieces, and I think I'm going to go with some cherry red because I really love that with the ivory. Well, I have been busy since I last saw you, and I've cut out all these parts here. So you can see that the bottom rung, I would call it, the bottom layer of the tree has the larger pieces here, and I've cut out 6 of those, and then the next one is here, that's this size, and then the top one is this, and you're going to need 6 of each of those. Then to decorate it, I have taken this and this together and taped them both together. That was for this one, and I've glued that on here. Now, I was going to add little gold stars in there, but I think I'll just wait and see. I might come back and do that at the end, but I'm going to be adding some gold onto it anyhow. Now for the next one then, I have this one here, and I've taken this together. I've obviously picked out the patterns, sorry, that's the big one. I've picked out the patterns with the stars on it for all 3. So there you are. And that's what I've done here. And then obviously you can see there that I've shaped these. So I'm just going to show you, once you get this on and the glue has perfectly dried, you can go ahead with something sort of rounded like this and just give these a bit of a shape, because you want a little bit of a curl to them there. Now only after you do that then you can fold these back. That makes it much more difficult to sort of mold those round whenever that's already done. So there we are, and I've got 6 of these already. Now I'm going to start with this one, and these are the glue tabs. The curved ones are the glue tabs, and the little straight ones are really just to hide any little gaps that you might get. You don't want any gaps in that. And I'm going to go ahead and glue these all together, so just right there. I'm using Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, so it has a very short sort of drying time. It doesn't take too long at all, but just take a moment or two to hold that, and then you can go ahead, and once the top one's dry, then you can add the next one on. Take your time and just get that right. Now, I wouldn't go ahead and add the next one onto that one just yet, because there are 6 sections in this. I'm just going to leave that as it is once I glue this little tab. So have a little look up here. I'll point this out with the pokey tool. You'll see a little triangle and then another little one beside it here. The first one is just left, and the second one is the one that gets the glue on, and it goes in behind here. So you'll just glue that over like that. Now I've picked 300 GSM card, as I said, for this. It's smooth, so it grabs pretty easily. It's pretty good. It's sturdy. It's not shiny. You're not going to get any sort of imperfections in it when you try to hold it together. It's not going to, it's actually just pretty good for this. You could probably use something just a little less sturdy. You might even get away with the 216. I'm not too sure. But anyway, I wanted this one because I reckon this is going to get a little bit of handling and will need it to be a little bit sturdier than something just lighter weight. So there we are. I'm going to do these in pairs of 3 and then leave them just to make sure they're all glued properly. This one on here as well. And then I'm going to come back and join the 3 of them all together. Once you've got that together, you can go ahead with this little die. It's a tiny hexagon, and it's just a plain one, and you can add some glue into the center of that and just pop that down into the inside. It's a wee bit sort of fiddly to get in there, but it fits down in, and that strengthens that and covers all those glue tabs up just like that. Now I'm going to turn it over here, and you can see then that I've taken the other little die that's a hexagon, but this one has a little slit in it, and that's it there. And you can see that that's got, I'll just show you there, put my little pokey tool in there and open that slit up. So that is for the star that goes on the top of this. So I've taken this die and I've actually cut that out twice, and then I've taken this one that fits inside it and I've cut that out twice in gold. And you can see here, that's the 2 of them together, and I'm going to back one onto the other. Now there's a little score line there, and you don't want to go below that with the glue. At the minute we're just going to put glue on these areas here. Now when you get to that stage, then you can put those 2 pieces together down in there up to the score line, and then fold them back on each other just like that. And at that point then you can go in between the two layers there and add some glue in there, and then hold those both together like that. That then gets glued directly on top of here. Now you'll need this little die and cut that 6 times, and just fold along all those little score lines on that there and line them up, and you're only going to put glue on this little squarish tab this time, so that's that one, and just attach those the whole way around. And actually when you've got the 6 of them together, then you can form a little ring with them. When the glue has grabbed on all of those pieces, then you can go ahead into this little triangular section the whole way around, put glue in that and glue those together, and that forms a kind of little collar there. The idea is then that you will put glue the whole way around that once those are all glued together, and attach this on here, and that will become the little collar on the base of that one that attaches it to the next part of the tree. First of all all these little triangles. Now you can go ahead and make the other two sections up in exactly the same way. So again, with the smaller one here, we're just going to glue this. This is the middle section, so it's smaller than this one, but bigger than this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue these together here. I don't suppose it's really even necessary to wait and glue these into two pieces into three sections, so I think I'll just hold that, and then I'll leave this little tab to the end, but I can just go ahead and add the 6 of these together and repeat the process with the next one as well. That's the smaller one, that's the middle one, and then this is the larger one, and I've just made them in exactly the same way. So I'm just going to finish this off now by gluing all these little tabs together here the whole way around this one. Now what you've ended up with is the top part, which fits on right over the next one, like that. And then we've got this space, and obviously then that collar is holding that on to here, and we need to make something for here. So go ahead with, just let me see, this die, cut that one out, and then you're going to need 6 of this one. So this is the main area here, and I've gone ahead and added 2 pieces on already from this other little die that I showed you. So you'll fold these pieces all in like this, and this part comes in here, and then just put glue on this area. I'll just use the bigger nozzle, and that goes in there, and then each one of those fits in here the whole way around, and each little glue tab, then you'll see that just come into the edge here. These little triangles will all face in the one direction the whole way around there. That's how that part should look now, with all these facing this way, and you can see how they're attached on the underside there as well. Now all you need to do is put glue on all of these little triangles and join them on the whole way around like this. Now that'll bring it in so that it then will fit as the little collar inside here. So best idea again is just to use little pegs for this, because that little piece just wants to spring back. It's not naturally wanting to stay in the position that you put it, so pegs are handy for that. This part should then look like that, and all you need to do now is glue these onto the inside of the base part, and then these will all be able to get attached. So just put some glue around here the whole way around, and then slip that down over the top, and each one of these will get glued on there. Now all you have to do is put glue around here and push this down on here, and that will attach there, and you'll have a full one right down to the bottom when we place the bottom part in here. But if you want to make this into a top section here and then a base on here, you could actually cut out a hexagon and glue it right over there at this stage, and then this would lift off and you'd have a top section with a lid on it, and you'd have a base section as well. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to attach this onto this. So glue right around all of these edges here. While your glue is just attaching, then you can go ahead and hopefully you can see there, you can push this little part up in and just make sure that's nice and snug in there. And you can actually grab it in here as well and press all those down and keep them nicely in place. Take this big die for the base of the large part here. So this is going to be the base that fits right in the bottom of the tree. That cuts out this shape. Burnish all of these up, and this time you've only got that little triangle on each one of them to glue into place. And again, you can use a little peg to hold it and do that the whole way around, and then we're just going to attach that right up inside the base the way we've done with the other ones. So now I've got the tree all ready except for decoration, and I want to make a stump to put onto it. So that's where this little die comes into play, and if you cut two of those out and glue them together, burnish all those fold lines and fold everything around and then glue this together, you'll have the little stump. And then you can go ahead with the hexagon that just a little while back when we cut this one out, there was the waist in the centre of it, and you hold on to that, and that then goes right on here, and that will strengthen that. Now, however, I wanted to make this stump just a little bit longer, so I'm actually going to double it up. I've cut it out twice then, and I'm going to glue two of these together just to make that taller, and then it will also be a little bit stronger. So all I'm going to do is make another one exactly the same as this and glue it on top, and then we'll add this part onto it after that. When you've made up one of these first, it's a good idea to put this hexagon on now before you add the other die cut on, the other little stump on, because that holds this in shape. Just leave that a minute or two until that glue dries, and then it's not going to be springing out and sort of losing shape while you're trying to add the other part on. That glue is actually fantastic. It doesn't take long to dry at all. There we are. And then I can go ahead and add this one on here. And if you want, you could add another die cut into the center or even onto the base of it there. But I'm going to go ahead and just add glue on here. Another way of doing this actually is to remove the tabs from one of those and glue this down inside. That's another way. In fact, you know, I think I'll just do that to show you that one. So we'll keep the tabs on one side here, and I'm going to remove them from one side. So cut all these ones off. And then I'll pop this right on here, and you can see there that that's going to just get attached like that the whole way around. Now I've got glue on the top of it, and I'm just going to turn this over and centralize this on here. I'm just about to make the base, but I thought I'd make the little train first of all, because that gets glued in between two bits of the base. So this is the little train die, and I have cut it out once and then folded it back here, and then this part here gets glued in between two of the bases, and I'll show you that in a moment or two. But I wanted to add an extra 2 carriages on, so I just cut this again and cut the main front of the train off, the engine, and left a tiny little bit there, as you can see, and I'm going to glue that directly on there, and that will just hold the two of those together. I've cut out 2 of the really large circles with the great big circle die. Now it does say in the instructions that you need to cut 3 of these to make a stable base, but this is 300 GSM, this is 216, and I think that's going to be enough. If not, I can always add another one onto the base of it afterwards. So at this stage then, I want to sandwich this little bit here in around the base. So I'm going to put glue on the inside of all these glue tabs and add it onto that. Now I've cut the train out in the same colour as the base, and I might have been better doing that a different colour, but I really wanted it to show off against the sort of ivory of the tree trunk. So we'll see how this looks. That gets glued in there. I'll just set this down and pop it in there. And then now I can, oh, you can't see that. There it is. And then now I can go ahead and glue that directly onto the base here. And now before I add anything else onto that, I want to add the tree right into the center of that. So you can see there, I'm going to center it so that the little train is at the front. It's hard to angle this so you can see everything there, and also that the star is in the center. So I'll just set it down and glue this base on here. I'll take the top off in the meantime and put glue on here. Most of the rest of the decorations for this are pretty straightforward. You just die cut them and attach them on. But there's a little present, and I just want to show you how to make that. And then you can probably see here, these are all actually the little stars that I die cut from here. And then this is another little one that there is a little die for in the set. That's really, really beautiful. There's a little bit of texture on it. So I just wanted to show you those, and then I'll make this present. So I've cut out 2 of this shape here and burnished all the score lines, and everything's all ready. And now I just want to do the second one. I've already made the little base up. The second one just is in much the same way. So just leave it slightly looser at the top, not very much, just a little bit, because you still want it to close snugly. Like that. All of these. And just like that. You could glue this directly down onto that other one if you just want to leave it closed, but if you want to add an extra little present into this, just leave it open, or leave it openable, is that the way you put it? And then you can pop something small in there. Even just a little note would be lovely, just to tell someone what you think of them at Christmas too. There we are, and that can go on there. And then there are some little dies in the set as well. So leave that like that so it can be opened, because it makes a cute little addition to it. But there's a little ribbon die. You'll probably wonder what that is. That's the ribbon die, and then there's some little bows that you can add on. So I'm just going to go and have fun now and make some more decorations, and I'll come back and show you what I've done when I've got those all ready. Isn't that so pretty? I had little decorations cut out as well, so I cut them And I didn't put them on every one right round because I didn't want to make it too sort of plastery looking, but I've got them all around here, little baubles and stars and this lovely everything. Anyway, it's every other one the whole way around there. And you can probably see here that I thought the little train didn't stand out enough on the backing here. You couldn't really see it too well against that sort of candy red there. And I just decided to cut it out again in gold, and then I left a little drop shadow, so I actually didn't put it directly on top. I sort of moved it slightly, just a couple of millimeters to the right, and you can see the little drop shadow through there as well. And I am really, really glad that I made the double height of the tree stump as well, because then that leaves me plenty of room to put these little parcels in. But I'll just come back to that in a moment or two. I had these little sequins, and I've gone right down here 3 different sizes. Okay, that did take a bit of time, and it was a bit footery, is that the word? That's what we say here in Northern Ireland anyway. But I think it looks nice at the end of it, and I think this looks really, really good. So I was really happy with it. I just want to show you again. There's how the lid comes off, and your box goes down to the base of this one here. You could, if you wanted, put a base in here and then don't glue this second layer on so that the second layer would come down, and then that would mean you'd have 2 boxes. That's another option. And I think possibly you could possibly take a piece out of the center of that. So if you were die cutting the big piece that I put in here for the base of the bottom part of the tree, if you die cut a hexagon the same size as the one on the base of this tree stump out of the center of this big piece that goes around the bottom there, that goes right across the bottom, then you'd be able to put something right down in there too if you wanted. But to be honest, I think it's really, really pretty just the way it is, and I just like it just like this. So I am just going to leave it like that, and I think I just need to show you these, and then that's it all finished. That was the first little parcel I did, and I left some well, I put the little ribbon both ways and then put a little bow on it as well. That's that one. And then on the next one, it's just a plain box, and you can see those decorative panels are inside the die set there, inside the die that makes this little box. And on the other one here, I have cut out this little shape twice and just put one on top of the other, and I've got another little box. So you can put something or a little note or something in each one of those. And now because this sits up like this, you know, because the tree is taller, it's hard to show this on camera here without those falling off, and I don't really want to glue them down because I think I will actually put something in them, so I don't want to glue them down. But anyway, that's what it looks like. You'll see plenty of photographs, and I hope you like it. If you have enjoyed it, please give me a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment. Actually, leave me a little comment and tell me what you think of the colour of the tree. Initially I thought I need to go sort of greens and whatnot because it's a tree, but you know, this is really nice. Then I had a sort of what am I doing moment when my husband came in and looked at it and said, oh, you're making a lovely pagoda or a Chinese house, because he saw the red and cream and these pieces all turned up like that. But anyway, once the Christmas decorations were on it and the stars and bits and pieces, I think it looks really Christmas tree-ish, if that's a word. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done that, and hit the notification bell. And my affiliate links to the set and anything else I've used will be down below in the description. Until next time, happy crafting. Thank you. Bye bye.